guys, long time no see. I haven't filmed in so long. I think the last time that I filmed was around 3-4 weeks ago. It was the Valentine's Day makeup tutorial. So I actually haven't filmed in a while, and I've just been busy. Like, I have schoolwork, and also it was Chinese New Year like 2 weeks ago. And as Chinese New Year, Chinese gets really busy. And actually, I've been pretty busy lately as well because it's midterm season. I actually have 4 essays due, and I am working on a final year project because I'm a final year student. And today, I have a little bit of time that I want to share with y'all about my recent favorites, because the last time I shared about my favorites was the yearly favorite back in December, and now it's already March. I have discovered something new. I have new things that came into my life, so I want to share with y'all about the recent favorites. A lot of them, quite a few of them are actually pretty new to my collection, but still I like them, so I want to share with y'all. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So let's get started with the beauty favorites as usual. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is actually a skincare product, which is the Elemis Rehydrating Ginseng Toner. I've actually used up the regular bottle of it. This is the spray bottle. It is a really hydrating toner. It's really watery, but at the same time, if you spread it on your hand and pat it in, it feels like a really lightweight essence, but it hydrates my face so well. It almost has like kind of a brightening effect after you use it, and this is such a hydrating toner. I think it's the first toner that I've ever used that I can feel a difference after I use it, and I just love this one so much. This is really hydrating, and it leaves my skin super soft, and it just makes my skincare, I feel like it makes a huge difference in my skincare routine. So I've been loving this so much. It's amazing. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour Concealer. I'm in the shade C2. A lot of people have been raving about it, and it went really popular online. It's because people saying that this is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is my favorite concealer for concealing any spots on my face. It is a really high coverage concealer, and I definitely love it. And I don't think it's a dupe at all, but I mean, I love this concealer. I really like it. I think the only part that is similar is the applicator, but other than this, I can't find any similarity between the two concealers. First, this is not as high coverage, but it is a little bit more hydrating than the Shape Tape, so I can use this under my eyes. I actually used this under my eyes today because the Shape Tape is a little too matte and drying for my under eyes, but it is pretty long lasting on my skin as well. If I use this to conceal my spots, the coverage is not high enough to do so, but it's definitely not as drying. So if you think that the Tarte Shape Tape is a little too high coverage or a little too matte for you, you can try this one. This is way cheaper, and I think it does a great job for its price already, so I love it. It's amazing. Another concealer that I want to talk about is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer that claims to be waterproof. I don't know, I haven't tested underwater yet, but it is a pretty good concealer. I got it in the shade 005. I'm not sure about the shade name, but this is a really good concealer. I think it is a little bit more matte than the Makeup Revolution one, but it is still not that drying that I actually can use this under my eyes. This concealer is pretty liquidy. It's more watery than the Makeup Revolution one or the Tarte Shape Tape, but it still provides a pretty decent coverage. It's still not as high coverage as my Tarte Shape Tape, but it is already really good, and it's really affordable, and it lasts really well on my skin as well. The thing about this concealer, it has a really strong fragrance. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad fragrance to me. I don't mind it. It kind of smells like baby shower gel or like baby powder mixed with a little bit of floral scent. So it is a really good concealer. If you hate a heavily scented product, this might not be for you because it is really strong. but yeah, it's actually pretty good. So I love this concealer as well. Okay, the next product that I'm gonna talk about is a brow pencil. It's a e.l.f. brow pencil. This is, I think, $2. This is the brow pencil that I'm using on my brows right now. I use a little bit of powder on top, but this is what I use to fill in my brows for the first step. And the tip is definitely not as fine as the ones that I'm used to, but it is pretty pigmented, and I think it actually lasts pretty well on my brows as well. So yeah, it's only $2. It's cheaper than a lot of drugstore brow pencil. It does its job and it lasts really well on my brows, so it's pretty good. The first eyeshadow palette that I want to talk about is the Dream Street palette, which is a collaboration of Kathleen Lights with Colourpop. I love every single shade in here. I even did like a green smoky eyes the other day. I love the eyeshadows, and I only used the warm shades today. I used these 4 shades and these 2 shades right here. I just love every single shade in here, and as usual, the eyeshadow in this palette is really pigmented and really creamy and buttery. So the color is just amazing. I love it so much. I've been using it almost every single day. And the second palette that I've been loving is the e.l.f. Matte for Matte eyeshadow palette. This is in the shade Summer Breeze. I think this is the second Matte for Matte palette that they came out with. This is a really great palette if you love matte eyeshadow. It is a really affordable palette. This is only $10, and e.l.f. sometimes they will do it on sale, and online you can get it like a 50% off. I got it when it was doing a 50% off, so I think I got it for around $5. It is an amazing palette. The shades are really pigmented and they blend really well, and I love warm tones, so this is a really nice palette for me. Okay, and then the eyeshadow, the really sparkly eyeshadow that I used today is Lightning Bug. This is Super Shock Shadow from Colourpop. It is a really glittery eyeshadow. It is just a orangey copper eyeshadow with a whole bunch of glitter inside, and this is a sparkly bit on my eyes. I love it so much. So it is a perfect warm eyeshadow topper. I love it so much. It is amazing eyeshadow. I love the color so much. And then I think I'm done with all the eye makeup. Yeah, I think I'm done with the eye makeup. I'm gonna move on to a blush. A blush that I've been loving is the blush that I'm using today, which is a Burt's Bee blush in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. I got it because of Kathleen Lights, and I absolutely love this. I can't put this down ever since I got it. I love the shade of it. It is as it says, is a toasted color. It's like a little bit of a muted burnt orange. I love this shade so much, and I think it pairs well with all kind of warm eye makeup look, and even with a purple eye makeup look. I've tried this. I love it so much. The only thing I have to complain about this is the scent. It smells so bad. I can't really describe the scent, but it smells pretty terrible. But it is an amazing blush. If you haven't tried it, definitely pick up one. Pick up a shade that you like and try it. You will be in love with this blush. Okay, and then I'm gonna talk about highlighters. I have two highlighters to talk about. The first highlighter that I'm mentioning is the highlighter that I'm using today, which is the Colourpop highlighter in Here Kitty Kitty. It is a really pretty light, a very light champagne highlighter. I love this. I love these kind of highlighters because these kind of shades works well with most makeup look, and I think this is a really wet looking highlighter. If you build it up, it can be a pretty natural highlighter, but you can build it up to a pretty intense highlighter as well. And it's not too dry, but it's not the most creamy powder, but it is still an amazing highlighter, so I love it. And then the second highlighter is the highlighter that broke on its way when it comes to me. This is a Super Shock highlighter in Flexitarian. It is a really hyped up product on YouTube. I don't think I even have to talk too much about it. If you want a very blinding highlight, this is the one to go for. And I love it because it creates a really perfect wet look to your cheeks. And then I have a contour powder to talk about. This is a really new contouring powder to my collection. foundation. I've used a little bit to contour today. This is the Innisfree My Palette series, the contouring powder in the shade number 1. It's a little bit on a yellow undertone. I don't really like a really red tone or ashy tone contouring powder because I think it looks really awkward on me. This is a perfect contouring powder for me if I want a really natural contour. This is a really smooth powder and it looks really natural on my skin. They have 4 shades. They have slightly darker shades, so you can pick the shade that you want. I pick up the shade number 1, which is the lightest. And then I have a bronzer to talk about. I actually used a little bit of bronzer on top of the contouring powder today. This is a Colourpop bronzer in the shade Private Party. This is actually not a matte bronzer. It has a little bit of sheen in it. I think it is a really good bronzer because it is not too orange or it's not too red. Last makeup favorite is the new Colourpop Lux Lipstick. I picked up 5 shades. Today I'm using a little bit of Uno Mas and I pair it with MAC Chili lipstick. They are so creamy. I love the formula so much. They are really creamy lipstick. All the shades have the same kind of formula. So I have 5 shades here. Appy Uno Mas. Uno Mas is the one that I'm using underneath the MAC Chili lipstick. And then I have Ghosted, LA Lady, and Liquid Courage. I love them all so much. I've used them all already. The only shade that I have a little bit problem with is Uno Mas. I think this shade is a little blotchy, a little patchy when you put it on. You have to put on 2 layers to make it a little bit more even. But still, it is a really creamy lipstick. But with this formula, I think you definitely need a lip primer with them for it to last longer and for it to apply evenly. So I'm gonna talk about 3 more non-beauty related favorites. The first one being my glasses. I recently got a new pair of glasses. On camera it might look clear, but the frame is actually a light bluish purple tint, but a clear frame. I love this pair of glasses so much. I have never ever have a pair of clear frame. I've always stick with my brown frame or like gold frame. I love this pair of glasses. It's really comfortable and it's really light. This actually came from a Japanese brand called Zoff. This one is really great. I think it complements my face shape really well, and I have never tried a clear frame that I like because I always find clear frame looks a little awkward on me, but I love this pair so much. So yeah, I've been wearing it almost every single day to school. I have a book favorite. I'm not gonna talk about anything about the content because it's such an old book and such a classic. It is The Catcher in the Rye by JD Salinger. This is a really old book. I'm pretty sure everyone have read it in their life. I think it's one of the really popular books that is taught in high school. And yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna talk about the book itself, but the reason why I want to read this book again is because of a movie that came out last year, which is The Rebel in the Rye. I love that movie. I think it was the best movie I've seen last year. So it is a movie about JD Salinger himself and how he created this character. It's definitely worth watching because it kind of changed my view in reading this book. To compare it to the first time I read it, I think I feel different about the book, and you will know more about the writer himself, and it's just an amazing movie. Definitely go watch it. It will change your view towards this book, and this is always a classic, and I think it's definitely worth reading again from time to time. And yeah, I think this is a really good book, and that movie is just amazing. So definitely go watch it, and definitely go watch the movie if you haven't, and read the book again. It's a really good book. Well, my last favorite is a food favorite, which is the Trader Joe's dark chocolate covered raisins. This is actually, I actually finished one already, and this is a brand new one that I just opened, and they are just amazing. If you are a chocolate lover and if you like raisins, this is amazing. They have dark chocolate covered almonds as well. I think Trader Joe's do really good snacks. I really like their snacks. So that concludes my favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! And it is, wow.